Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So, show your support by hitting that thumbs up button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that means a lot to me. Now, if you want to get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, my analysis in 3 days of live trading, definitely check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And now let's get right into it, guys. And before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that I'm still recovering from pneumonia, and it's gonna take at least 3 to 4 weeks. Now here on Apple stock, it's up 2%, more than 2%. And why Apple stock is up? Look at this. This cannot get any better with any other stocks than Apple. And I called it every time before. Oversold. What happened? Massive rally. Oversold. Huge rally. And then what happened here? Oversold. Massive rally to the upside today. So Apple here, I actually got some shares I sold for profit because they also have earnings coming very soon. And now Apple stock is up almost $4 on the day. Now Apple getting a strong bounce off of this 180 support. It was getting far too overextended to the downside, trading below lower Bollinger Band. And whenever you see that, you buy that dip on Apple. And look at this. If you bought at 180, 181, you made decent money today on Apple. Now going into tomorrow on Apple stock, you want to watch this support down here. 183.64, and to the upside, the next stop 187.68, 50-day moving average, and above that you're going to see Apple going all the way up to 190 and possibly even closing this gap here on top, 191.73. Now Apple breaks below 183.63, then watch out for a dump off down to 181.38, and then a strong support down here 180, and below 180 there's gonna be more downside all the way down to 177. On Microsoft, it's up 1.84%, and this drama here on Microsoft is just too much. You can see it, 367, 366. This thing would not give up this support right here. That previous all-time high acting like a magnet right here, and this thing getting a bounce again today all the way up to 375 almost. Now above 375 you're going to see 380, and now on a pullback here on Microsoft you want to watch 372.36 as a support right here, 20-day moving average, and then 367 right down here. And once we get under 367, then we can talk about a drop all the way down to this gap, 357.54. To the upside, above 375, I mean, we have seen many attempts right here breaking, but not actually getting that breakout above 375. So if this thing actually breaks above 375 finally, you're going to see a run up to 380, and who knows, maybe another fresh new all-time highs, just like we saw on Nvda stock today. On AMD, it's up 5.42%, and this thing is just insane. Now I can understand why this thing going back up, maybe to fill this gap at 147.20, and then we could see the sell-off continuing to the downside. But looks like the way this thing is going, I mean, look at this move from right here, 133, and now you're talking about trading at 150 again, hitting 147.15 for only 5 pennies, not filling this gap completely at 147.20. So this is gonna be a level to watch between 147 and 148. AMD can break and hold that right here, then watch out for a move up to 150 plus. Now below this right here, 147.20 to 148, if this thing gets rejected, then watch out for a dump off back down to, I would say right here, 144, and then right down here 141.20, and then 1 138, a strong support on AMD. On Amazon stock, it's up 2.69%, almost 3% up on the day. And looks like Amazon is about to take out this resistance right here at 150. And Amazon can clear 150, then you're going to see Amazon going up to 151 right here. 13-day moving average, and then a quick trip all the way up to 155. Now on a pullback, this is going to be a strong support to watch, 146 on Amazon. And look at today, opening at 146, and this thing just took off all the way up to 149.40, and now trading just slightly under 150. So watch out for the support down here, 146, and the resistance to break 150, 151, and then you're going to see a clear shot all the way up to 155 once again. And once we get above 155, there's going to be tons of upside on Amazon. On Google stock, it's up 2.23%, and Google now trading above 140, and that should open up the door for a run all the way up to 145 on Google stock. Now this support needs to hold right here, 140, because below that Google can drop all the way down to 20-day moving average, 138.39, and then strong support we also have down here at 135. On Tesla stock, it's up 1.40%, and Tesla now holding or actually trading close to 241. So this is going to be a big level to watch on Tesla. As long as Tesla can hold right here at 241, the next stop and the resistance here on top, that would be 247.53 and then 252. Tesla cannot hold 241, then watch out for a dump off down to 50-day moving average, 235, and then lower Bollinger Band at 232. We also have this gap down here at 225.40, and if that happens, this thing coming down and if filling this gap all the way down here, that's gonna be an absolute dip buy on Tesla. On Meta, it's up 1.82%, and this one here, guys, I mean, yes, Mark Zuckerberg, he just selling shares, but guess what? This market is so manipulated right now. The guy is selling shares. Do you see any effect here in the stock? No. And it looks like we might be going up to 361, 362 again. And it's almost there. Up almost 2% on the day. We blasted through this resistance right here. If you look at my screen, 355, and now trading at 358. So the next stop on top, and that would be the gap just under 362, and then this thing can possibly down up to 366. On a pullback, 355 strong support, and then down here 352, 346, and then 343. And this was your deal that you got last week, the mini dip, I would call it right here. And that was it, guys. I mean, it was only down a few dollars, and they bought the heck out of it. And forget about, Mark Zuckerberg selling his shares. It's not affecting the Meta shares right here. It's just going straight up pretty much every day. On Nvidia stock, it's up almost 6%, and they had an event, and all they needed was AI boom right in that event. And not to mention that Nancy's husband actually bought some deep in the money calls, which I don't know. I mean, he got paid. That's why he probably got those deep in the money calls. But look at this manipulation here on Nvidia stock. Now, this is why I think Apple's still the best name out there, especially when you're buying it and it's undervalued. And why? Because look at this. Apple from 200 straight away $20 drop, right? You bought the dip, you made good money if you bought the dip. Do you see a big drop here? Absolutely nowhere, right? For this gap not getting filled. And in top of that, I mean, this is a massive gap up. This thing is nowhere near 400. Not to mention all these gaps, 232, 211, 150. Who's going to fill all these gaps, and when are they going to get filled? Nobody knows, right? And it's just insane. And this thing is pumping even more today to a fresh, new all-time high, and that is I mean, look at this, guys, 520. And if you look at my screen, it's getting far too overextended to the upside. Upper Bollinger Band sitting at 510, and the stock itself trading at 520. And the next stop could be 532 on Nvidia. So now if there is a pullback, you want to watch 510 to 511 as a support, and then 505, that previous all-time highs. And I think that's going to be a big magnetic support on Nvidia on a pullback now. 505. And why? Just look at Microsoft for that reason. On Netflix is up 2.20%, and this one almost getting that breakout again over 485. Now if that happens tomorrow, you're going to see continuation to the upside, and Netflix can go all the way up to 500. On a pullback below 485, we do have strong support at 478.99, rising 20-day moving average, and if that gives up, watch out for 474, and then possibly coming down to 50-day moving average right here, 461, and then this gap 455.50. As of right now, I mean, this could be a dead cat bounce unless this thing actually breaks out above 485, and Netflix can hold 485 as a support. That means one thing, you're going to see 500 or even 500 plus on Netflix again. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into tomorrow.